what we're talking about today is mapping your path to retirement. So we'll talk about what MAP means. It's an acronym, and also what PATH means. It's also an acronym when it comes to the context of retirement. And when we look at what is most important for financial and personal fulfillment in retirement, we'll lean on some literature for that too. So today, I mean, this is a topic that I get excited about talking about, specifically because I don't find that there's a lot of conversations about how to retire well. One of the biggest aha moments for me was that I heard that there's a statistic that said for folks who are retired in the first year of retirement, that 60% of them become either anxious or depressed. There have been a lot of anecdotes about how people, or stories about how people just feel non-useful, and that the actual mental and emotional transition into retirement can be more difficult to deal with than the financial part. And so that's where MAP comes from. So when we talk about MAP, we are looking at mapping your ideal retirement. What does life look like? And what, if you can dream it up, because we believe that you can, if you could dream it up, what would it look like? And where would your fulfillment come from? Where would your purpose come from? And so we broke that down into 3 parts. So MAP stands for money, activities, and people. So we all live in America, or most of us. We know that life costs money. So we really want to think about all of the things that you want to do. What will they cost, right? If that's housing, if that's travel, if that's the cars that you want, and the things that you would want to do with your days that you're retiring to, how much does that cost? And we usually break money into 2 separate sections. The first part of money are our needs. So we want to make sure that hell or high water, these are the things that we need and can pay for. Part 2 is really our wants. So we can say our paycheck versus our playcheck is one way literature talks about it. But how much does it cost to live the life that you have to? And then how much does it cost to live the life that you want to? And we go about actually hitting those needs in separate ways. But number 1 on a fulfilling retirement is money. Number 2 is activities. What are the things that you want to be doing? And they could be classes, they could be cooking, they could be, traveling, golfing, they could be volunteering. We know a lot of fulfillment for second acts can come from using all of your skills and relationships to volunteer and give back in that second act. And so we really want to think through what are the activities that you want to do, and what do those look like, and how often do you want to do them, and how fulfilling are they to do? One of the big things that we want to try to avoid is getting stuck in this vacation mode. And so when people think about retirement, they say, I want to do all the things I do on vacation. I want to travel. I want to do luxury resort, maybe, RV camping. I want to golf. All of those things that are really good to do 1 week, 2 week, 1 month at a time. But what we find is that when folks transition into retirement and get there, it stops being fulfilling to do those things. Being perpetually in retirement actually doesn't bring, being perpetually on vacation doesn't actually bring a lot of fulfillment and happiness. So we really want to think about how are we using our skills to give to, some people are deciding to continue to work in a consulting capacity, but what are our activities? And then the last thing are the people. And it's not the last thing, it's actually the most important thing, that you can measure someone's fulfillment in retirement based primarily on the relationships that they have and that they steward. So that could be spousal, that could be family, children, grandchildren, that can be community, that can be fraternity or sorority, that can be volunteering, like we said, that can be faith-based communities that are really important to be plugged into. But the people in your life have such an exorbitant impact on your wellness and fulfillment in retirement. So that's how the MAP setup is: money, activities, and people. And we want to think through that. We want to think through what a day is, what a month is, what a year looks like, and how do we do it really well. so that we're not just retiring from something, but we're retiring to something. And if you're not excited about those things when you map them out, then it's probably not how you should be spending possibly the next 10, 20, 30 years of your life. So we want to make sure we have something that we're really excited to retire to. So map is really the destination. So this is what we key into the GPS. This is the destination. Path is how we get there, right? Path is how we financially pay for and plan for that map. And so path stands for pension, assets, taxes, and healthcare. Those are the four biggest indicators and drivers financially to whether you can live that life that you dream and imagine in the map. So we'll start with pension. You know, most people have some sort of a pension, whether it's government employees are the ones that still have really robust pensions. So that's state, you know, that could be fire, teacher, all the folks who work for the state, or federal, that could be military or service minded, cities as well. There are some companies that continue to have pensions, but a lot of those have been transitioned to 401ks or 403bs. But most of us will be taking Social Security. And Social Security is a pension. It is an income stream for the rest of your life. The longer you wait to begin taking it, the higher it is. It increases over time. And there's a lot of strategies to making sure that we nail your decisions about your pension. Second part is assets. So we use assets because it's not just investment dollars, retirement accounts, non-retirement accounts, but we're also thinking about housing. Your house is an asset. We're also thinking about any other things that you have that are assets. You specifically are an asset. So if you choose to work part-time, or you choose to take contracts or volunteer or do some things, your body is an asset. We want to make sure that we take care of that. T in path is for taxes. Most people grossly underestimate how much taxes they will pay in retirement, whether it be from withdrawing from their 401k or paying taxes on their Social Security or paying Medicare premium, which are also sometimes taxes. All of these things, taxes make a big impact. If you're really excited to pass on dollars to the next generation, whether that's kids or grandkids, we also have to think about taxes, because taxes can erode how much you get to leave behind as a legacy, whether it's the house or investments or business or anything like that. So we really, really want to talk about taxes and how to every tax dollar we can bring down means that you can spend it or you can give it. And that's really important. And then the H is healthcare. When we meet with folks who are headed into retirement, healthcare, paying for possible things they need, long-term care if they were to become unable to care for themselves, are some of the things that are really high on their list. And there's a lot of strategies around how we pay for Medicare, not only the tax on that, the supplemental premiums for prescription, and then the sometimes unavoidable needing for in-home healthcare or going into a facility. So when we think about the destination of the map and then the path for us to get there, the path is really based on pension, assets, taxes, and healthcare.
That's good. That's good. I think thinking through the map portion for money and how we can focus on that and make impact on that now is understanding how much you spend now in relation to how much you want to be able to spend in retirement or in your next phase of life, and understanding how that all works together. If you spend more now, you won't be able to spend as much later. Or if you just are able to manage it now and be more aware of how much you'll be able to spend later. I mean, you as long as you have a plan, that's the best way to go about it. So
yeah, I agree. If your expenses are lower heading into retirement, you have so much more flexibility. Some people assume that they will spend less in retirement than they spend in their working years, and that is just statistically untrue. So if you are living a higher lifestyle through your working years, 30s, 40s, and 50s, you are setting yourself up for it to be a lot tougher and have less flexibility in retirement. So I agree. Expenses drive the entire plan.
I think that's relevant for all ages, right? So as people in our age start to earn more money, try to stay away from and not get drawn up in lifestyle creep or keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Over the years, if you're able to manage your expenses in relation to your income, it helps in the future. And also late 50s, early 60s, when you're actually thinking through or thinking about taking your step to the next phase, just being aware of how it all relates. So
yeah. Hey, Ashley, I see you. Yeah, the tax part is big. A lot of people really underestimate the tax part. And there are some things you can do. So this is for people who might find themselves, 3, 4, 5 years away from retirement. There's some things you can do leading up to retirement so that you can pay less tax in retirement. And there's other ways that we can strategize lowering the tax. But if in your working years you hated taxes, which a lot of people do, when taxes are coming out of your paycheck, it's annoying a lot of times. But if you've saved a lump sum amount that you're hoping to live off of, and you're paying 10, 15, 20% every time you withdraw it, people in retirement hate taxes a little bit more, I found. So we got a plan for it. There is a guide we made on Map and Path, and we're putting it in the comments here. Click that link. You can download it, and everything we're talking about today, we break those things down. And if you know somebody who's on the cusp of retiring, or you yourself are thinking about what it looks like 12 months, 2 years, 5 years out, the guide would be great. And feel free to also send it to somebody who needs to be thinking about this. So
we've had some success as of late, just working with clients in that space going into retirement. So, I mean, we're always looking for more people to help. So if you enjoyed that video, be sure to subscribe. If you want to learn more about how we serve our clients, visit our website at www.alchemistwealth.com.